Hi everyone, this is Usman, and today we are going to see how we can create a full-fledged RESTful API with few lines of code. And this is by using one of npm packages. And let's get started. So I have that playground folder opened, and let me open the CMD as well. First of all, for this particular demonstration, we will need only one package. I will extend that demonstration in a separate video to cover the advanced scenarios, but for now, it will only need one single package. So I will type in npm init first of all to initiate a node-based project. I will apply all the default settings, and we have package.json created. Let's install our package, that is JsonServer, and for particular version I can rely on 17.17.3, so we can install this one. There are different alpha packages available as well, so I would recommend to use this one instead of alpha one. There are some breaking changes in that package as well. So first thing, we need that package. The other thing will be a file, a JSON file, which we can name anything, but I will name it db.json. Why specifically db.json? Because we will kept all the data inside that file, that JSON file. So meanwhile, let me create db.json, and here we can, let's assume we are exposing an endpoint to manage users. So I can name it users, and users should be an array. Oops, not an object. It should be an array like this, right? So we have db.json file and only an object which has a property users of type array. So our package should be installed. All right. So next thing would be to run that server. So we will be using the command line. We are not writing any code, so we will cover that part in our advanced part of this series. But for now, we can just use a simple command, which is json-server and space db.json over database file. As soon as we write and hit that command, and we have our RESTful API up and running. So you can see we have an endpoint exposed on localhost 3000/users, which means whatever we put here inside that db.json file, it will be exposed as an endpoint. Like if I can expose a profiles property as an array, and as soon as I save it and I go back, you can see now we have two endpoints. One is users, other one is profile. Let's go back to the postman now. If I now try to get users on from that endpoint, I should be getting 200. Okay, an empty array. All right, so let's try post now, how post works. And again, instead of slash post, if I type users, and that is a post endpoint, here I can say user name, and I can name it Usman, and as soon as I hit that one, I should return 201 created status, and user has been created with the dynamic ID. Let's go back to get endpoint, and now get endpoint will return us an array of users with one user. So we already have created one user. Let's create couple of more. All right, now as soon as we click on our get endpoint, we should have returned all those users as a list. Great. So let's pick one user. Let's say ID is 522D, and this is a dynamic ID. And if I use that put endpoint, put API call, and here if I name it users, and 552D was the ID, and I want to change user name to something Usman code, right? And if I hit send, 552D is not found. Okay, so let's again 522D. I missed that. So 5, you can see that how efficient that API is, that if record does not exist, it will return us 404 without a single line of code. So again 522D, we have a put call, and now the name should be Usman code instead of Usman. Let's try to pull list of users again. Now the first user should name as Usman code. You can see that. So put endpoint endpoint is working fine as well. The last one is delete. So again, let's again try the same users slash 522D, and let's hit that one, and we have okay response as well on delete call. Let's go back and try to find. So now that record is gone from that list, and if we try to delete that user, we should have 404 not found because that user is not exist in the list. If I show you the actual JSON file, you should see that it's getting updated as soon as we are calling that endpoint, which means that file is acting as a database. That's why I named it db.json. So this is how we can initialize a full-fledged RESTful API with few lines of code. I will not say lines of code, few commands without any line of code. And it's just not a RESTful, it's more than that. What I mean by that, if we observe the get endpoint, the pagination is also enabled on that endpoint, right? So we can skip, take, or we can paginate the records from that list. How? Let me show you. And before that, let's try to create a couple of more users as well to apply pagination on those users. So I will try to create a couple of more users by just clicking that HTTP post call. So by default, the pagination is 20 records per page. So we will be using different number to get that effect visible. So we have now multiple records: 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So if I say underscore per underscore page is equal to 11, I should be getting 11 records: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And if I try to add some more parameters in the query, so I can say page number is 2, page number is 1, and if I say per page 10, so total items are 11, and we are on page 1. If I say page 2, we should be getting only one record, right? So total number of users are 11, and per page we set to 10, and currently we are on page 2. That's why we are getting one record. If I say on page 1, so we will be getting 10 records. If I say per page is 5, what it will bring us, so we will be getting only 5 records from that endpoint, 4 and 5, right? And if I say that that's right, that it's giving us the 5 records, what if we want to apply sorting on the basis of ID? For that one, I will again use underscore sort is equal to ID. Let's try this one. So now it's sorted by ID, and we are getting 2 on the top, then 4, then 6, right? Now it's sorting in in ascending order. What if I apply sorting by minus ID? What it will does, it will gives us data in the descending order, right? So on the top we have D, then B, then 9, 8, 7, right? So we can do ascending and descending order as well. So this is how this package is providing us different functionalities for a RESTful API, and there are lot more settings and configurations as well, which we will explore in our coming videos. But for now, you can use this package to spin up your own RESTful API within few minutes and with whatever number of endpoints you want to expose. Right? In case of any questions or queries, do ask me in the comment, and I will try to cover some advanced points or topics against that particular package. Just as a further hint, CORS is by default disabled on that endpoint, which means although we are able to access that endpoint from Postman, but we can't access it from within our code, right? The developers will understand what is meant by CORS. So to enable the CORS, we will be using that endpoint or that package in a different way, right? So we will be spin up our own node-based server, and from within that server, we will be using that JSON-server package, and we will be apply core on top of that one. So that is an advanced hint for our coming video. We will be using same package with cores in Node.js to expose a server with cores enabled. So we will cover that one in coming video. So till then, take care and see you in the next one.